Welcome to the weekend. We'll have a rerun today, and I'll add a quote. So grab your favorite cuppa, settle in, and let's see what we have. Hi there, and welcome to this day in history for February 22nd. February 22nd is the 53rd day of the year in the Gregorian calendar, with 312 days remaining to the end of the year, 313 in leap years. Today's word is onerous. Onerous is an adjective that means involving, imposing, or constituting a burden, typically describing something that is difficult and unpleasant to do or deal with, such as onerous regulations. It can also mean having legal obligations that outweigh the advantages, such as an onerous contract. This word makes its way to us from Middle English, Middle French before that, Latin before that, and ultimately from Sanskrit. First known use of the word onerous is in the 1300s. Onerous. And with that, this is the birthday of George Washington, born February 22nd, 1732. He saw us through the Revolutionary War and then became the first president of the United States. He's considered the father of our country, the United States, and he died in 1799 at the age of 67. On February 22nd, 1862, Jefferson Davis was officially inaugurated for a 6-year term as president of the Confederate States of America in Richmond, Virginia. Frank Woolworth opened what he called Woolworth's Great 5-Cent Store in Utica, New York on February 22, 1879. It was the first of what would come to be known as 5 and dime stores. Grew to be one of the largest retail chains in the world through most of the 20th century. You could say it was the Walmart of its day, offering merchandise at prices just under the competition's. Was also one of the first retailers to put merchandise out where customers could shop without the assistance of a sales clerk. Eventually, increased competition led to its decline in the 1980s, and they went out of business in 1997. On February 22, 1997, British scientists announced that an adult sheep named Dolly had been successfully cloned. Today's song is Without You by Nilsson. In 1971, Harry Nilsson was best known for his version of the song Everybody's Talkin', which was featured in the movie Midnight Cowboy, and for having written the song One, which was made famous by Three Dog Night. Nilsson was at a party one night and he heard a song called Without You by Badfinger. He mistook it for a Beatles song at first, and you might wonder how anyone could mistake Badfinger for the Beatles, but it was at a party, so there was a lot of noise around, and I'll put a link to the Badfinger version in the description so you can listen to it and see how he might have thought that. Anyway, once he realized it was not a Beatles song, he decided he'd like to record it, and so he did. Released as a single from his album Nilsson Schmilsson in October of 1971, it hit number 1 in February of 1972 and held that spot for 4 weeks. Without You by Harry Nilsson. Link in the description. In honor and recognition of George Washington's actual birthday, today's quote is one from George Washington, and it is, "Labor to keep alive in your breast that little spark of celestial fire called conscience." George Washington. Alrighty, y'all take care. Be good to each other. I'll see you next time. And I think that's going to do it for us today. Thank you so much for watching. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. Feel free to share this video with a link in your email, messaging, or social media. If you enjoy this series, you can check out the playlist that contains these videos. I'll put a link to that in the description. That playlist lives on YouTube, so for other platforms, I'll include a link to my blog page. It's called No Really. You can also find me on Rumble, BitChute, and Odyssey. all those links in that description. Alrighty, that's all I can think of right now. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time.